As an educator, speaker, and business owner, I have spent my entire career helping thousands around the US and Canada to change their thinking and to become entrepreneurs. And I strongly believe that there is, in fact, a better way to succeed in making a living and making a life. The career landscape has changed dramatically, and many are still working in a model that is completely outdated. What worked for previous generations just isn't working very well for anyone in the workforce, whether they are close to retirement or just entering the job market. In this article, we will explore 3 important questions. 1. What's really going on in the workplace today? 2. In this new economy, is it better to become an entrepreneur, or is it really safer to work for someone else? 3. If a person decides to become an entrepreneur and start their own business, how can they do it without taking on massive risk? My intention is to provide new information so readers can make better decisions not limited by an outdated business model, as we all navigate this thing called the new economy. So let's start with question number 1. What's really going on in our working world today? Let's look at unemployment. 30 to 40% of Americans are not working. But if you've been unemployed for more than 6 months, the government removes you from the unemployed list and pretends that you've dropped out of the labor force, according to Paul Pilzer in a 2014 interview. Think of it this way. There are 10 people living on an island. They go out every day and fish. One day new technology shows up. A missionary brings them a net. Now using the net, one pilots the boat, one throws the net to a fisherman, can do all of the work that 10 used to. That's a 500% increase in productivity in one day, too, doing the work of 10. Now the island has a big problem, 80% unemployment, but the island still has all the wealth of the fish, because the 2 people produce as much fish as 10 did. Of course, looking back through history, these changes used to take hundreds or thousands of years, and during that time, we went into farming and transportation. Some of us became doctors, and some teachers or lawyers, and we developed all of these new professions and new manufacturing jobs. Today these changes are occurring literally in one day, when a new technological advance occurs, and we don't have the social structures to deal with. On a global basis, everything is being turned upside down because of the rapidly advancing technologies. These new technologies, while improving some things, are leading to the elimination of many jobs, and consequently large numbers of unemployed, who are not prepared for the new advanced technology. Jobs that now exist, and any training of new jobs, will not happen in a university or college. They're just too slow. Trained to be employees and work for that paycheck. Middle class income has been in steady decline since the 1980s, and all the while, parents are still telling their kids to go to school and get a job. It literally makes no sense. As middle class incomes continue to decline, what happens to those people who are dropping out of the middle class? They are now relabeled the working poor. If you are going to control your future, you won't be using an old method such as the 40-40 plan. The idea of graduating from college, finding a career with 1 or 2 companies and working 40 hours a week over 40 years, that day is over. Some people say that if they can't find a job, they should just go back to school to get even more qualifications, another outmoded approach. These perpetual students simply end up going several more years unemployed with not work experience and expanding their already choking student debt. By the way, national student loan debt has now exceeds $1 trillion. As I mentioned earlier, the U.S. Census Bureau data shows that in actual purchasing power, wages of college graduates have been decreasing for the past 10 years. The average person who has been working a lifetime in America today is ending their working career with an average of $1,000 in assets. We've literally created a system where people earn just enough to survive while they are working. So what happens when they're done working? What happens during retirement? Part 2 of a 5-part article.